It's Les Fugit. I'm in the class of '02, and I have the honor of serving a little bit as your MC this evening. It's a pleasure to have all of you with us, particularly our students. We're excited that you are here, and we're excited to honor your achievements. Our retiring faculty, I had the distinct pleasure of knowing each and every one of them, and that is, I think, speaks to the heart of Center, the fact that I can speak personally to all of the faculty. And then, of course, you, our dedicated alumni and donors who make everything that we do here possible. So we greatly appreciate all of you being here. We're going to begin this evening by recognizing the retiring faculty. They have so many accolades that I want to read through. What I'm going to do is ask each of them to stand as I recognize them. The staff will present them with a little token of appreciation. I'm going to request that you hold your applause until the end. I know that you won't follow that, but I'm going to request it anyway, just to keep the evening going. But we're going to first start this evening with Larry Batinsky, the W. George Matten Professor of Music. You know it's bad when the president is the one who breaks the rule. Since 1998, Larry Batinsky, the W. George Matten Professor of Music, has been a cornerstone of the Center College Music Program, where he teaches composition, music theory, musicianship, and world music. Dr. Batinsky has twice been named a Center Scholar, an honor that reflects his excellence in teaching, scholarship, and service. He has also served as chair of the music program and received the Kirk Teaching Award. Dr. Batinsky is not only a dedicated educator, he's also an accomplished pianist, and his compositions performed widely by ensembles across North America, Europe, and Asia. His music bridges the structure and depth of classical masters with the improvisational spirit of Indian and Indonesian traditions, Islamic and Jewish musical cultures, jazz, and yes, even the Grateful Dead. Dr. Batinsky holds a Bachelor of Music from the New England Conservatory, a Master of Music from Ithaca College, and a Doctor of Musical Arts from Cornell University. Please help me in honoring Dr. Larry Batinsky. They're going to make their way to you, and I'm going to go ahead with the next, not trying to shortchange you. Dr. David Hall is the W. George Matten Professor of Philosophy and Religion. Okay. Since we started the tradition of clapping. He is a distinguished scholar and educator whose 23-year career at Center is a remarkable blend of scholarship, teaching, and service. He joined Center in 2002 and was quickly recognized for his excellence in teaching, receiving the Kirk Award and being named a Center Scholar. In 2017, he was named the George Matten Professor of Philosophy and Religion after previously holding an NEH endowed professorship from 2010 to 2013. Dr. Hall has served as chair of the religion program, leading students and enriching their global learning through study abroad to Spain, Israel, India, and Morocco. His interdisciplinary research spans philosophy, literary theory, and social science, and in 2020, he co-edited the book Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Theology and Political Resistance. In 2009 through 2010, he was the senior fellow at the Martin Marty Center at the University of Chicago, further highlighting his academic influence. Dr. Hall holds degrees from California State University, Sacramento, and the University of Chicago, where he earned both his MDiv and his PhD. Please help me in honoring Dr. David Hall. Professor Matthew Halleck. Professor Halleck has been a vital part of Center College since 1997, serving as professor of theater and shaping generations of students through his teaching and artistry. He was twice named a Center Scholar, honoring his outstanding teaching, scholarship, and service to the college. For the past 3 years, he has served with distinction as the elected faculty president for the college. His deep involvement in the college's theater productions, designing sets, costumes, and lighting has made him a cornerstone of the arts on campus. Beyond the classroom, Professor Halleck has built an impressive professional design career with work in Milwaukee, Chicago, and Kansas City, as well as across the nation. He's contributed his talents to companies such as the Skylight Opera Theater, Milwaukee Chamber Theater, First Stage Children's Theater, and the Missouri Repertory Theater. Locally, his work has been recognized and appreciated through designs for the Actors Guild of Lexington, where he earned 3 Audience Appreciation Awards, as well as the Lexington Children's Theater and Lexington Shakespeare Festival. Professor Halleck holds a BS in Theater Arts from SUNY New Paltz and was an MFA in Scenic Design and Technology from Western Illinois University. Please help me in honoring Professor Matthew Halleck. Dr. Bruce K. Johnson, the James Graham Brown Professor of Economics. Dr. Johnson has been a key member of the faculty since 1987, a remarkable 38-year career at Centre, teaching a wide range of economic courses while also holding the Marlene and David Grissom Professorship in Social Studies from 2019 to 22. His courses have included principles of economics, microeconomics, econometrics, experimental economics, urban economics, and everyone's favorite, the economics of sports. Dr. Johnson's research is centered in sports economics, where he is known for groundbreaking work on non-market valuation techniques, especially related to the public funding of teams, stadiums, and the Olympics. Over the years, Dr. Johnson has been honored with several of Center's top teaching awards, including the Kirk Award for Excellence in Teaching, the David F. Hughes Award for Excellence in Teaching and Service, the Office of Greek Life Outstanding Faculty Member Award. Beyond teaching and research, he has played a significant leadership role at Center by serving as faculty president and chairing nearly every major faculty committee. He's also contributed to the broader economics profession, serving on the board of the Kentucky Economic Association and on the nominating committee for the Southern Economic Association, and is vice president of the North American Association of Sports Economists. Dr. Johnson holds a BA from Transylvania University, I won't hold that against you, sir, and earned his PhD at the University of Virginia. Please help me in honoring Dr. Bruce K. Johnson. Dr. Daniel Mannheim, the H.W. Stoghill Jr. and Adele H. Stoghill Professor of English. Dr. Mannheim has held that professorship since 2007, appointment that speaks to his long-standing dedication to teaching and scholarship. Before coming to Center in 1991, his academic career included teaching at Bard College, Columbia University, and Barnard College. Dr. Mannheim's academic interests are deeply rooted in American literature, and he is particularly renowned for his expertise on the poetry of Emily Dickinson. He currently serves on the board of directors of the Emily Dickinson International Society and is also the editor for the EDIS Bulletin, further demonstrating his leadership within the literary community. Dr. Mannheim is also a distinguished scholar of Henry Adams, the celebrated American historian and philosopher. His research and scholarship have appeared in prominent academic journals, including the New England Quarterly, ESQ, and Literary Imagination. At Center, Dr. Mannheim's courses inspire students to engage with the complexities of American literary traditions with classes on major American writers, environmental literature, American autobiography, and the modern short story. For his exceptional work in the classroom, he received the Kirk Award for Excellence in Teaching, and earlier in his career, he was honored with the Center Scholar Award, recognizing his excellence in teaching, scholarship, and service. Dr. Mannheim received his A.B. from Amherst College and both his M.A. and Ph.D. from Columbia University. Please help me in honoring Dr. Daniel Mannheim. Feeling sorry for our professors at the end with all these words. I'm going to get so tongue-tied. Please help me in honoring Dr. Margaret Peggy Ritchie, the UNT Bowles Professor of Biology and Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. Dr. Ritchie has demonstrated 36 years of leadership and dedication as an integral part of Center's academic community. Dr. Ritchie has taught at Center since 1989, and in that time she has held the role of Chair of the Biology and Chair of BMB for 4 separate terms. Her excellence in teaching has been consistently recognized. In 1990, she received the Omicron Delta Kappa Rookie of the Year Award, followed by the ODK David F. Hughes Memorial Award for Teaching in 1995. Further recognition for her continued impact in the classroom came with the Kirk Award for Teaching Excellence, a distinction she received twice. And in 2002, she was named a Center Scholar, an honor that acknowledges her excellence in teaching, scholarship, and service. Dr. Ritchie's research is primarily focused on the identification of novel chemical inhibitors of bacteria, a vital area of study with significant implications in the field of microbiology. Throughout her career, she has mentored and guided students through the process of research, introducing them to the excitement of discovery in the lab and helping many secure research opportunities at major university laboratories across the nation. Dr. Ritchie earned a BS in botany from the University of Kentucky, graduating magna cum laude, and as a Phi Beta Kappa member, followed by her MS and PhD in plant pathology. Please help me in honoring Dr. Peggy Ritchie. And finally, Dr. Joe Workman, Professor of Chemistry. Dr. Workman's 32-year career in Center's classroom has been instrumental in shaping the academic journeys of students since 1993, inspiring them with his passion for chemistry and dedication to learning. From 1993 to 2018, Dr. Workman also served as the academic advisor for students pursuing pre-medical studies. In this role, he assisted students with the MCAT study sessions and organized field trips to major medical schools, providing them with valuable exposure and insight into the medical profession. An energetic teacher, Dr. Workman played a vital role in Center's efforts to secure a high-field nuclear magnetic resonance NMR spectrometer, which is now accessible to students for both study and research. Highlighting his contributions to the Center community, he was named a Center Scholar in 2005, which recognized his excellence in teaching, scholarship, and service. He also received the Kirk Award for Excellence in Teaching for his impact in the classroom. Through the years, Dr. Workman has spent significant time with students in New Zealand, where they studied the physical science of volcanoes. Currently, he is pursuing research in igneous petrology and geochemistry, specifically investigating the destiny of volcanic plumes and their interaction with the upper atmosphere, and an area of research with broad scientific implications. Dr. Workman received his BS degree from Santa Clara University and his PhD from Carnegie Mellon University, laying the foundation for his distinguished academic career. Please help me in honoring Dr. Joe Workman. If I might just take a moment to say, again, knowing each one of these members of the faculty, several of which had me in the classroom, and one of which may have convinced me to never go into the medical field. Great call there, sir, great call. The impact that you've made on lives is tremendous. And I'm the lucky person who gets to read about, all of your career, but that's really not what made you special. What made you special is the impact that you made with students. And when I say that many of you are my good friends, I mean that. And that speaks to who you are, that speaks to the place that we're at, but the impact that you have made for decades at this institution, and I know for many years to come, because you're not leaving completely, I'm sure you'll be around. We can't thank you enough. You are the heart of the college, and we appreciate you. Please give a standing ovation to our retiring faculty. feel like it's important that we recognize Dr. Ellen Goldie, our Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of the College. Ellen will be leaving Center to join the Rolls-Holman Institute of Technology as Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs at the end of June. While we will miss her deeply, we celebrate this exciting next step in her distinguished career. Ellen's dedication to Center has been invaluable. Under her direction, the college expanded its academic offerings with new majors in business, Chinese, data science, and engineering, along with minors in statistics and health and medical studies. She led our reaccreditation process and played a crucial role in the shaping of the Quality Enhancement Plan. Additionally, she guided Center through the transition to online learning and a block schedule during COVID-19 pandemic. She refined the faculty review process and was a strong advocate for faculty salary increases. Beyond her time at Center, Ellen's influence in higher education has been far-reaching. She's a passionate advocate for science education's role in civic engagement. She has been recognized multiple times as a faculty member or educator of the year, a testament to the deep respect she has earned from students and her colleagues alike. Her commitment to the liberal arts and sciences and to our Center community will be greatly missed. Please join me in expressing our gratitude to Ellen for her years of service to Center and wishing her and Brian the very best in her next step. Thank you, Ellen. And in continuing the theme of the evening, let me invite up another friend, Crit Llewellyn, who I think most of you in this room knows. It's our former lieutenant governor, but most importantly, a passionate advocate for Center College to make a presentation. Crit.
Thank you, Les, and good evening, everyone. I want to say on behalf of the Board of Trustees another thank you to the retiring faculty and to Ellen Goldie. The faculty here are the heart and soul of this college, and we owe everything to you in terms of how these students leave this college and go on to live lives, meaningful lives of service and leadership. So thank you again. It is my distinct honor tonight to recognize Judge Peggy Purdom Patterson, an outstanding member of the Center College Board of Trustees who is being recommended tomorrow to the board for election as a trustee emeritus. A 1972 graduate of Center, Judge Patterson's life and career has been one of firsts. The first woman on Center's debate team, where she was inspired by Dr. David Hughes to pursue a career in law, the first female partner in her law firm, and the first woman to be appointed to a federal judgeship in Kentucky. She has served on the Board of Trustees for Center for 26 years. She there chaired the Student Life and Enrollment Management Committee and served on the board's executive committee. In 2023, Judge Patterson received the college's Distinguished Alumni Award in recognition of her trailblazing devotion to her legal profession, her community, and her alma mater. At a time when I know we can all feel overwhelmed by so much contentious discourse in this world, you have only to see Peggy Patterson walk in the room to see a bright light of optimism and cheerful commitment to the causes that she holds dear. But don't be fooled by that sweet Southern lady style charm. Just ask those who have appeared before Judge Patterson in her courtroom, where this 5-foot-tall powerhouse insisted on order and decorum without ever banging her gavel or raising her voice, and she got it. Throughout her life and career, Peggy has been devoted to Center College, and she credits this institution and its faculty with defining her very successful life's path. Tonight, we recognize Judge Peggy Patterson for her devotion to Center College through 26 years of service on the Board of Trustees. Please come up, Peggy.
drew the short straw and have to follow that. And I'm sure all of you were thinking, man, we heard enough from that guy. Two housekeeping notes. First, if you lost your cell phone in the women's restroom, they have it at table 18, so you can pick that up later. And if you would please, let's just take a moment to thank our chefs and our wait staff for the tremendous meal that we just had. You know Center is a special place when the Cowan staff comes up and asks how you've been, how's your brother, how's the family. It truly is a remarkable place. So I've been asked and have the great honor of representing donors tonight. And I'm going to talk about my center story. And when I talk about the center story, for those of you who don't know, it's a we story. I have an identical twin brother, Wes. He is the president of Wilson College in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And so when I'm talking about it, I'll always say we because we did everything together. But we are from Prestonsburg in eastern Kentucky. Hey, all right. I thought Leslie Bilby would be the only person clapping for that, but that's fine. So we went to grade school, middle school, high school, and college with Leslie. The place where we grew up was not one of the top 5 poorest counties in the country, but 5 of the top 10 poorest counties in the country are in eastern Kentucky, and it surround the county that we grew up in. My father was a coal miner, and my mother was a disabled beautician. Wes and I were first-generation college students. We didn't know much about the college selection process. We had great friends who kind of guided us along the way, but really we didn't know what we were doing. We were high-achieving students, and we were very involved in the high school. And everyone kind of knew we were going to go hopefully do something, hopefully great, but we didn't know that process, right? And we were lucky enough to be in the Governor Scholars Program. And when we went to the program, all of the people that we met there were that we really enjoyed. They all had a connection to Center. They either taught at Center, they were students at Center, and suddenly this place that we had never heard of was interesting. And then we looked at the price tag, and it wasn't interesting anymore because that was not going to be an option for us. I had dreams of going to some of the top schools in the country, and every time I'd see the price tag, my parents would say, that's lovely, but that's not going to work out. And Wes and I started, after the Governor Scholars Program, checking out different institutions. Let me preface a little bit. We were at a high school basketball game, and my father is sitting next to a coach who is clearly scouting a basketball player. And my father is making, small talk conversation with him and said, yeah, my sons want to go to this liberal arts school. I don't even know what that is, and it's really expensive. And, who are you here recruiting? And he's like, oh, Andy Jarvis and Wes Salmons. Actually, I'm at a liberal arts school. You shouldn't discount that. There are scholarships and there's financial need and aid, and you shouldn't discount that. And my father keeps talking, and finally he goes, well, what college are you from? He's like, Center College in Danville, Kentucky. He's like, that's the school my kids want to go to. So next thing you know, the basketball coach is recruiting my father to have us come to Center. And we finally we convince our parents. This is back in the day when you had to actually come to campus to do an in-person interview for scholarships. We convinced them on the very last day to come or take us to do the interview. It snowed. It had to be close to 10 inches. Everything on campus was shut down. Our tour guide did not make it. They just picked some random kid, called him up and said, hey, can you come do the tour? The tour guide didn't show up. Maybe had a fun night on Fraternity Row the night before. And we didn't get in to see the Norton Center for the Arts. We are big theater guys. We didn't get to talk to the faculty. It was if you could describe what you don't want a tour to be, that's what we had. And our parents could see, just walking on campus in that snow, that we were in love. We went into the interview and we had the luck or bad luck to interview with the dean. And she's, selling the college and, we're trying to talk about it. My dad finally says, "This is all fine and great, but how are you going to pay for this?" And my brother and I about died. Like, it's not their job to pay for it, it is our job to pay for it, And she answered, "We will help you because your sons, we believe, are going to do something great. Not just here, but after they leave here, they're going to be amazing." And honestly, we weren't told that a lot growing up where we're from. And my parents, on the drive home, said, "We know this is where you want to be. We're going to make this work." The package came in, and we thought we were going to go to another, frankly, lower academic institution here in the state. And when the center package came in, it was a no-brainer. They had made it possible. And when we got here, we know we were not the smartest people in the room, but man, we can run an organization. So we ran every club on campus. And by our sophomore years, both of us knew that we wanted to be the next John Roush. We wanted to be college presidents. Wes stuck on that track. I kind of got diverted. Because we knew, even in our sophomore year, that this place was changing us for the better. And how unbelievable it is that the sons of a coal miner and a disabled beautician could have all these opportunities. And it was because someone else had donated and made that possible. So my life changed because we held a little vice presidential debate here, and I just happened to be chair of one of the college organizations, and it completely changed my career path. And now I'm a dirty lobbyist for the alcohol industry. Don't hold it against me. The impact that the college had on us, we knew from day one that we were going to give back. And this was back when, if you wanted to be a center associate as a senior, you had to give $500. I can't tell you what $500 meant to Wes and me back then, but it was an extraordinary sum that we did not have. But we, in our senior years, went ahead and did it because we knew we needed to give back, and also we wanted to get to that Associates Dinner and Network. And every year from that point on, we gave back. But most importantly, when we got to the point where we could really contribute to the college, we knew what we needed to do. We needed to honor our parents for what they sacrificed. And my dad is the guy who, everyone else ate before him. He took whatever was left. He would never buy something for himself to make sure that we had what we needed. And we gave back in honor of them, set up a scholarship that hopefully the next person from Eastern Kentucky, who's a first-generation college student, can live this center dream and change their lives as well. So thank you to the donors in the room who made that possible for us. Thank you to the donors who are making it possible for the future. And thank you to everyone at Center who made our lives tremendously better for this wonderful Center experience. Enough for me, but maybe a couple more bios. We're going to ask two of our students to come up and speak. We're a Lincoln Scholar from Lexington, Kentucky. She is the editor-in-chief of the Cento, Center's student newspaper, and the co-editor-in-chief of Vantage Point, Center's literary magazine. In her time at Center, she revived both publications from the ground up after years of decline. She conducted research at the McDowell House Museum, the home of Dr. Ephraim McDowell, interned at the U.S. Trade and Development Agency in Washington, D.C., and worked on an international documentary about cows and climate change, and aided Lexington Council member Shayla Lynch, Center class of 2001. She plans to study economics at I can't even, I don't even, I'm not even going to begin to try to announce this, pronounce this university in the Netherlands. She can tell you when she gets up here. With a focus on technology, competition, and regulation, and work in antitrust law with the European Commission and the U.S. Department of Justice. Following her will be Andrew Davison. He is a graduating senior from Moorhead, Kentucky, near Prestonsburg, I might make note. He is a double major in religious studies and computer science with a minor in studio art. Over his time at Center, Andrew has become deeply involved across the disciplines of the college. He has given international talks on religion, displayed ceramic works in galleries, and participated in summer internships in software development. As a Brown Fellow, Andrew has spent lots of time over the summer on his scholarships enrichment projects, including conducting interviews on the Appalachian Trail and studying pottery in Italy. He's also served the campus community as chair of the student judiciary and as junior marshal, all while holding jobs at the Norton Center for the Arts and as studio assistant to the ceramics program. Next year, he will be pursuing a Master's of Contextual Theologies and Interfaith Relations at Trinity College in Dublin, Ireland, as a recipient of the Rotary Global Grant Scholarship. So to these two, as they walk on up, and to all the students in the crowd, let me just say, all of these alums in the room, and the faculty, and the administration, we love you, and we want to help you. What we are known for is our people. So network. Call upon us to help. We're there for you. And we will always be there for you because that's the Center community. Please welcome these two outstanding students to the podium.
Hi everyone, and thank you Les for that amazing introduction. First of all, it is pronounced Maastricht University. I'm very excited about it. So many of us are here because Center College made us an offer we could not refuse. In other words, a really good scholarship offer at a wonderful, minuscule liberal arts college. I'm from Kentucky, so I've always known about Center, or the Harvard of the South, as some of us like to call it. Some of my peers, however, have never heard of Center before applying. Some of my friends made the journey to Danville thinking it would be a burgeoning metropolis. Some came thinking Lexington was just a stone's throw away. And some came expecting horses to be walking around campus and bourbon to be flowing out of the taps. And yet, here we all are, in the same place, with a shared education under our belts, and with 4 years of our lives that we will always have in common. The first sentence on Center's Wikipedia page is, Center College is a private liberal arts college in Danville, Kentucky. A bit basic, isn't it? So today, I want to try and further define Center and why I am so grateful for my experience here. Let's talk about liberal arts college. What does that mean? In my opinion, it's learning how to think rather than what to think. It's exploring diverse disciplines. It's caring more about the journey than the destination. A liberal arts college is, pardon my metaphor, like a buffet. When I go to a buffet, I like to have a little bit of everything. A bite of potato salad, a morsel of psychology with an 8 a.m. lab, a piece of fried chicken, a helping of computer science, a slice of apple pie, a sliver of creative writing. Center embodies this. It's a little bit of everything. It's both small and big, both competitive and collaborative, demanding and liberating, old and new. Let's start with this. Center is small. With only 1,400 students, it is smaller than my high school was. We know the people we pass on the way to class. Professors remember our names and even invite us to bonfires at their homes. Our idea of a weekend trip is a journey to Kroger and maybe TJ Maxx if we're feeling frisky. My cohort of 9 Lincoln Scholars quickly became a little family. The quaintness of Center, Danville, and my scholarship made me feel right at home in this tight-knit community. But Center is also enormous. The Center Mafia is real. I've personally encountered this notorious syndicate on several occasions. I emailed council member and center alum Shayla Lynch out of nowhere last summer, and she enthusiastically gave me an internship and a pile of work. Now she's become a mentor to me, and I've learned so much from her about writing, law, and advocacy. And Center is not only the little town of Danville, it has taken me all over the world. I worked in a medical clinic in Costa Rica. I worked at the U.S. Trade and Development Agency in D.C. I lived right beside the British Museum in London for a whole semester, which was awesome. I discovered my love for competition economics with Dr. Petkis in Austria, where we did some hands-on economic analysis in the form of going to all of the ice cream shops in the city and figuring out how they compete with each other. And I brought Center to all of these places too. I came prepared to talk about the Kentucky Triad: fried chicken, horses, and bourbon. And I left with new friends, new passions, and even new nicknames. Center's campus traverses the globe. Next, Center is competitive. We all want to be the best. We set our sights on fellowships, study abroad programs, research opportunities, or even just the last Bronc. I experienced this on steroids in the Lincoln Scholars Program, where someone is always doing something amazing. Every other week, I get an email from Dr. Robert Shalkoff, our scholarship director, with the subject line, "Lincoln in the news," and an unquantifiable amount of exclamation points. We just got one this morning. Congrats, Vale. Being surrounded by all of these change makers is a lot of pressure, but I'm competitive too. You don't want to play Monopoly with me, it will go on for hours. And seeing my peers be successful makes me want to be successful too. They are tough competition. They push me, they inspire me. But more importantly, being at Center is like being part of a team. I'm naturally a lone wolf. I do not easily ask for help. As the editor of the Cento, I wanted to install a newspaper stand in the library. This thing was as tall as me, granted not very tall, but for me it was tall, and I think it weighed 200 pounds, or at least that's what it felt like. I tried to carry it all the way from my dorm to the library all by myself. As I trudged with my load, panting and gasping, like Atlas holding up the world, my fellow cohort members, one by one, seemed to appear as if by miracle, and each offered me a helping hand. This unbearable weight became light. And this story sounds too good to be true, but I submit to you this evidence. This stand still sits in the library today, and I think of my cohort every time I pass by it, and it's filled with Centos right now, by the way. I can confidently say my peers have probably had similar experiences, but maybe instead of a newspaper stand, it was a massive exam, or maybe instead of cohort members, it was their sorority sisters. From my friends at Center, I've learned that asking for help is actually a strength. It's nice to be part of a pack. Next, Center is demanding. For an education that's liberal, there sure are a lot of requirements. I found myself, an economics major, learning how to speak Chinese, how to code in Python, how to quilt, how to write a song. These classes challenged me, pushed me to my limit. I pulled some serious all-nighters. If you heard mediocre singing in the basement of Cheek at 4 in the morning, that wasn't a ghost, that was me. But Center is also liberating. Yes, I was required to take some of these classes, but that gave me the freedom to fail. I begged Dr. Link to let me join his songwriting class, and I found myself surrounded by experienced, talented musicians. I was a freshman whose knowledge of the piano consisted of "every good boy does fine." This was one of the first times that I had no idea what I was doing in a class. What was I thinking? I was terrified, lost. I was humbled. And then I realized I could do anything. I'd always been motivated by others' expectations of me. Us Center students run on academic validation, but when there are no expectations, not only is the sky the limit, there is no floor. I got creative. I did whatever I wanted, and in 1 month I wrote 5 songs. They were unique, for sure, Maybe they won't be on the Billboard 100 anytime soon, but I'm proud of them. I learned it's okay to flounder as I explore uncharted territory, and it's actually kind of fun. Center is old. We beat Harvard in football 100 years ago. C6HO, John Marshall Harlan, the great dissenter, Plessy B. Ferguson, separate but equal cannot exist, is an alum. Abe Lincoln's friend went here. Old Center is the oldest academic building west of the Alleghenies. Breck is haunted. But Center is also new. We are making our own history right now. Even though the Cento was founded in 1889, the Cento we have today is completely different. When I came to Center 4 years ago, no one knew about the Cento. It had gone extinct, faded into obscurity. If I told people I was part of the Cento, I was met with blank stares. Oh, it's a newspaper, I would explain, their eyebrows raised. What? Center has a newspaper? We built the Cento back up from scratch, me and our mighty team of writers and editors. We poured ourselves into it, our time, our thoughts, our hearts. We didn't have funding. I remember going to one of SGA's meetings and begging for money. Thank you, SGA, for giving us money. Please give us more money. We started with a blank slate, and we sat down and created our vision of our Cento. No template, no limits. We could invent the Cento to be anything that we could dream of. That was in 2023. Now, people know the Cento. We're once again an integral part of Center. I love seeing people carrying the latest print issues all over campus, filling out the crossword, unfolding and reading their papers like 1950s businessmen. I thought we were unique in resurrecting the Cento, but I discovered in Center's 1967 yearbook a photo of then editor-in-chief captioned, "Sylvia Clark restored stability to the Cento after Mark Harris failed in his attempt to make the paper an effective organ of campus communication." First of all, I thought, damn, they really called him out like that. Then I thought, wow, as old as Center, the Cento, and all of our institutions are, we are always shifting and changing, sometimes failing, sometimes succeeding. We'll have dark ages and renaissances. Center has been so special to me because I've had the opportunity to make something new out of the old, or something old out of the new. Let's return to my buffet metaphor. In my time at Center, I've had a little bit of everything. Some comfort foods, some acquired tastes, some things I want to get the recipe for. Small, big, competitive, collaborative, demanding, liberating, old, new. Center is a little bit of everything, indeed, and it's a lot of fun. Through my attempt to define Center, I've come to define how deeply grateful I am for my time here. I am here because of the Lincoln Scholars Program. I am here because Dr. Robert Shalkoff is extremely convincing, a force of nature, and he always believes in me. I am here because my parents always have very high expectations. They inspire me to always be better, and they are unendingly supportive. My time here has been precious because my cohort made me feel like part of a family. Because Dr. Peckus got me excited to argue about economics. Because my roommate, Mary, always finds a way to make me laugh, even when I'm crashing out, which is really often. And because the people at the Cento and Vantage Point put as much love into writing and creating as I do. We came to Center College feeling like this college already believed in us. You, donors, committees, professors, leaders, you believed in us, and you made an investment in us, as we did with you when we chose to come to Center. And in econ speak, I think we're seeing an enormous return on investment. When you start something with someone who believes in you from the beginning, anything feels possible and everything feels necessary. Thank you to the donors of the Lincoln Scholarship and to the hundreds of other donors who provide life-changing scholarships for Center students. Thank you for a buffet of experiences, for friends that last a lifetime, for courses that challenge and inspire, for opportunities to learn who we are and who we want to become, and for the gift of a Center education. Abraham Lincoln's words are engraved on his statue. I'm a success today because I had a friend who believed in me, and I didn't have the heart to let him down. So, thank you for believing in us. Thank you for giving us this precious time at Center. We won't let you down. And Andrew,
hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Elka. Those were wonderful words, and thank you, Les, as well, for that introduction. Good evening. I hope your evening thus far has proven to be full of good people and good conversation, which I believe are the lifeblood of higher education. I'd like to spend some time tonight thinking about that. What makes good people, and what makes good conversation? How does Center bring good people together, and how does it stimulate good conversation? I've only been a full-time college student for 4 years, but I grew up in a collegiate environment not too dissimilar from this one. My house was one street off of Morehead State University's campus, and both my parents taught there, my father in philosophy and my mother in social work. I imagine that it's not too dissimilar from growing up as an O'Quinn in Danville, except that instead of learning biology, my parents made me talk about my feelings and then explain them rationally. At Center, I've been extremely fortunate to spend my time with students from all across the world and from so many different backgrounds. When I chose to join Greek life at Center, I did so with international students, first-generation students, students of color, queer students, students of diverse faiths and philosophies, neurodivergent students, and more. My scholarship group, the Brown Fellows Program, was designed to bring together elite students from around the world to appreciate both Center's liberal arts education and its worldwide reach. At the same time, Center specially serves the Kentucky Commonwealth. I can't tell you how many times I've had a conversation with an out-of-state student where they told me how much their time at Center and around Kentuckians has changed and challenged their preconceived notions of what Kentucky is like. Many people have told me that after 4 years here, Kentucky feels like home. In this cultivation of their student body, Center brings together good people. In student diversity, Center creates good conversation. The summer before my first semester at Center, I was registering for classes and, in the spirit of a liberal arts education, chose to take an Introduction to Ceramics course. When I said this to my supervisor at the software internship that I was working at the time, I was surprised with an immediate question of my choices. Why would I, as a student seeking a computer science degree, waste my time taking meaningless art courses? Why would I consider developing personal skills outside of my then career choice? I suppose the way that I've just rephrased his questions are a little bit revealing, but my experience at Center has absolutely been defined by the time that I took to explore outside of what I thought I wanted to do. If I had listened to his advice, I never would have taken that ceramics course, and I would have lost a huge component of the way that I consider myself today. Since then, I've made pieces reflecting on the opioid crisis in Appalachia. I've developed my own unique glazes from scratch, and I've even studied the art and technique of pottery in Tuscany. I might never have taken elective literature courses with the great emeritus faculty, Dr. Mark Lucas, who helped redefine the way that I thought about the American South and my own cultural background. I might never have taken a course titled Islam in America during my first Center term, a class whose hands-on experience with the Muslim population in the United States is the reason that I fell in love with religious studies. This diversity of study afforded to me by Center education made me not just a more skilled employee, but a more well-rounded person. My Center term experiences also placed me in what I think is a unique category as a Center student, which is that I have never, ever spent a Center term in Danville. So while my peers tell me that I've missed out on some of the best hijinks of my college career, I also know that I can truthfully say that my time in Spain and Morocco, Istanbul, and South Korea have been the most transformative experiences of my life. There's something special about the way that Center faculty lead an abroad course, because they always seem to find an inside connection that elevates that experience. In Morocco, our class participated in a Sufi dhikr in someone's own home, which included a night of music, philosophy, and true cross-cultural dialogue. In South Korea, my peers and I went to a ceramic village called Icheon, where we took a class with this Korean ceramic master who did not speak any English. Our professor did his best to translate, but we were truly communicating with one another over the pottery wheel. In Istanbul, our class was somehow, I'm still amazed at this, able to hold a private audience with the patriarch of the Greek Orthodox Church, who was incredibly gracious and fed us a lunch of tuna sandwiches, or maybe more biblically appropriate, loaves and fish. So not only does Center bring together good people, but it builds them up and creates them through a diverse education. It allows for students to engage not just with one another, but with people from around the world. Students haggle with street vendors, meditate with monks, sing in international choirs, make art with artists, and drink tea with strangers, sometimes without even sharing a word. Good conversation doesn't require words. It just requires connection and understanding. When we speak about the Center experience, these are the things that we think about: the liberal arts education, the time spent abroad, the unique people only found and cultivated here, and the connections that we build with them along the way. As I near graduation now in just a few short weeks, I've been reflecting a lot on my time at Center and these people and those conversations. My first year, I spent a lot of those good conversations talking about where I'm from. While I did grow up in a collegiate household, I experienced a very different cultural space when I went to school. Moorhead, if you're not familiar, is in northeastern Kentucky, firmly in the Appalachian region. My peers lived different lives than I did, went home to different environments than I did, and moved through their scholastic journey with different goals and expectations than I did. Appalachia is a commonly misunderstood and mischaracterized region with a history of economic and environmental exploitation that has a very real impact on the lives of me and my neighbors. For many of my peers at home, Center is recognized as a gem of Kentucky, but often one that's out of reach. Even if they were to be admitted, the intimidation of going to a selective school hours from home, in many cases as the first one in their family to attend college, is a tremendous burden and pressure. The world that young Appalachians and that other historically underrepresented populations at institutions like Center are entering into now increasingly asks for post-secondary degrees, and in the process occludes class mobility. Center has already built and improved the infrastructure to support these students by expanding the Grissom Scholars Program and by welcoming new cohorts of Kessler Scholars starting just 2 years ago. More than 20% of the students currently attending Center are first gen, many of whom have become dear friends to me. All of these students, who have contributed so much to the breadth and depth of the Center community, are here as the direct result of the school's financial support and alumni and donor contributions to Center College, many of whom are here tonight. I thank you deeply for your generosity. In the fall of this year, I will be moving to Dublin, Ireland to study at Trinity College Dublin to pursue a master's in contextual theologies and interfaith relations. I imagine that I will embark on another process of explanation and be an international ambassador for Appalachia, for Kentucky, and for the United States. What will mark my time there and in my future in interfaith relations and law will be the same exact virtues of Center that we've been talking about all night: good people and good conversation. To the current alumni, donors, and students who are closer than you might think to being in those two categories, I cannot thank you enough for the support that you've provided to me and to my peers. The Center College community cannot thrive without you. You have provided an education that I will carry with me always, and on behalf of my peers, I thank you for the Center experience. Above all, I hope that for the rest of the evening, you meet more good people and have more good conversation. Thank you.
There is no way that we can leave without thanking our faculty who made this possible. These students. These incredible students came here because of you and leave because of you as humans who will change the world. So thank you to all the faculty who are here, some of whom will not be retiring, but for those of you who are retiring, what a tribute to hear students talk about the importance of you and the impact you've had on their lives. So thank you so much. The opportunity to talk about Center College right now as an incredibly important investment in the future of our world can't go without noting the students here and the impact they will have on our world. We are important as an institution because of these students who will go out and change their communities for the better. We are important as an institution because for 205 years we have been producing alumni who have changed this world for the better. And for so many of you here, you can tell the same story that Les has told. You can tell that story of the impact that Center had on you and the way that you now want to give back. Thank you to all of you, the alumni, who faithfully see in your lives both the impact but now the opportunity to pay forward and change the lives of more and more and more people. We have a board represented in this room. Almost all our board members are here. Thank you for coming to Danville, Kentucky. But our board has said for many, many years, prior to me coming, but in all 5 of my years, push the gas. Center is more important now than it has ever been. The investment in Center right now is more important in this world than it has ever been. So thank you to the board for being optimistic in a difficult world, in a polarized world, and in an economically fraught world for higher education. Our board is investing in our future. So thank you. We meet tomorrow to talk about our future, and it's beautiful to have 30 board members committed to this place, giving their time and their talent and their treasure to make sure that we push forward. With their leadership and with the leadership of this faculty and many staff members represented in this room, we are the best institution in this region, and we need to be known worldwide for what we do to incredible people, to bring them together, to have them feast on this buffet of talent and intellectual curiosity and aspiration. Aspiration. Asking people to think beyond what they thought they could do, who they thought they could be, what they thought they could accomplish. Let's do more. Center College, we are amazing, but let's do more. Thank you for being here.